Welcome to Nosebleed Seats. I'm the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. We're back at the grand opening of World League Wrestling's new training facility in Troy, Missouri. And as part of that, we got a couple of interviews lined up for you for this edition of the program. We're talking with Stacey O'Brien. You're the current WLW Ladies Champion?
Yes, I am. 5 times.
5 times. And how can you remember the 5 people you defeated for the belt?
I know Lucy Mendez. Miss Natural. Mischief may have been in there. I don't know. I think I beat Miss Natural a couple times. She beat me a couple times. Lucy Mendez maybe a couple times. So, you know, maybe. I think there may have been one more, but not really sure.
Now you've been at it for how long?
6 years.
6 years? And
Yes.
You've had a few breaks in between.
Yes.
What got you into the wrestling business?
Friends of family. My sister-in-law knew some people that wrestled in St. Louis, and they used to come over for holidays and things like that, and my brothers and I would always get in wrestling matches, and someone walked up and was like, hey, would you be interested in being a wrestler? And I said, hey, why not? And then I started training, and it became a passion. And I was training for, I would say probably about a year before I had a shoulder injury, had to take I think probably about like 6 to 8 months off for surgery and things like that. And after that, came to Harley's, wrestled there for a couple years. Last year, I took a little bit of time off trying to get the school situated with moving and things like that. And now I'm back. Now I'm back and I'm ready to travel and I'm ready to take on anyone.
Where have you all, what promotions have you wrestled for thus far?
Let's see. I have WLW, MMWA, SICW, AAPW in Carbondale. I have WWOW in Tennessee, which I think they changed their name now to Elite Wrestling. I'd have to think, because now it's off the top of my head. More than that, etc., but I can't.
And Metro Pro.
Yes, Metro Pro. Cannot forget Metro Pro.
Which may or may not come back now
I
that
hope
they've...
it does, but...
Describe your top opponents so far.
Ooh, my top favorite opponents would be Mischief and Miss Natural, because they are very tough, they are very innovative in things they do, and, I mean, they wrestle like the guys, and you can never look that over. Like, I've wrestled many girls, and all of them are very good, but Mischief and Miss Natural are probably like the top 2 female wrestlers right now in the area, so they are my favorites.
What is your favorite match?
Ooh, I would probably say I had a 4-way with Lucy Mendez, Miss Natural, and Mischief. And that was awesome. Just the things that happened in the match, the setup of the match, everything was just great, and everything came together during that match, so that has to be one of my favorites. What
is the moment in wrestling that you'd rather forget ever happened?
You know, it's probably, I don't know if I have one of those, because even if it's embarrassing, it's still funny to look back on. So I don't think I have one, actually. I know that there is something that has happened that is very embarrassing. I can't think of it right now.
Well,
but
I would call it the worst experience you've had.
I've had a few matches where I just would rather erase them, you know? So those would be that, and I'm not gonna, go into great detail about that, but I've had my matches where I'd just rather leave and forget that it ever happened, but you learn from every mistake, so I would say that, it was a good experience even if it was bad, so.
What's more fun, being heroic or being a villain?
they both have their goods and their bads. But I would definitely say being a villain because it's so much more fun. Like, you get to go out there and you get to just pick on whoever you want, you know? Like, if you're in a bad mood, it even makes it even better because then you get to go out there and just vent your frustrations on everyone. It's awesome. I would definitely say being a villain. Definitely. Then you go to cheat. Like, you get to cheat. Like, who doesn't like cheating? If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So, I would definitely say being a villain.
Describe your character. You play an Irish girl.
Yes, I'm Irish. That's more of like a family background. It's more me as Stacey O'Brien as a wrestler. I am from Boston, Massachusetts. I moved to St. Louis when I was younger, moved to Eldon to wrestle for Harley, to train for Harley Race. It's more about me coming from being this little Irish girl in Boston, making my way to St. Louis where I got into wrestling. Now I'm wrestling and training at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. So it's more of the wrestling that I've been through as a professional wrestler. So I am Irish, yes, but my main character is just me being a badass wrestler.
Anybody that you'd like to have a match with that you haven't had the chance, and everybody's going to say a national person, but let's say somebody in the Midwest.
I'd say all of them. Bring it on!
But there's got to be a first target. First target, anybody that you've never had a match with.
Nikki Knuckles, I would say, because she is probably one of the toughest chicks that I've ever heard of. And she goes out there, she's got her name out there, she's brutal. I can't even tell you how many times I've heard of her bleeding. It's just insane. So I would say Nikki Knuckles, for sure.
So that match has never happened?
No, it never happened.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, what are your goals for the rest of 2014?
I just want to get out there more. This last year, I've just been taking a break. I'm tired of taking a break. I'm getting my name out there. I'm going to wrestle as many females as I possibly can, even some men if I can get it, if I can set up the matches. So I'm ready to take on everybody and anybody. So bring it on.
All right, well then, where can promoters go if they want to bring Stacey O'Brien in for a women's match or man versus woman?
All right. You would go to Stacey O'Brien on Facebook, and that's STACEYOBRIEN. A lot of people don't get the spelling right, so that's the reason you can't find me on Facebook. Facebook or StaceyO'Brien21@hotmail.com.
Well, your name's easier to spell than others.
Yes, it is. It is. But, I mean, a lot of people get it wrong, and then they're like, I can't find you on Facebook. Well, it's because you put an A instead of an E, and then you didn't put the E in the Stacey. So, I spell it out just in case somebody forgets. So.
All right, Stacey, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right.
And a little reminder, World League Wrestling presents Battle of St. Valentine's on Saturday, February the 15th in Rolla, Missouri at Fat Cats Entertainment Complex, 1100 East Highway 72. Be sure to look them up, World League Wrestling on Facebook, or go to harleyrace.com for more information as we take a look around some of the paraphernalia adorning the walls of Harley Race's office. And there is the NWA World Championship belt. The newest tag team and local area wrestling coverage has arrived. The St. Louis wrestling community, covering downstate Illinois and Missouri for the past 5 years, teams up with the new Central Illinois Pro Wrestling.com, presented by the Nosebleed Seats. They bring you the latest news and information, schedule of events, interviews, and wrestling action. Check it out now at CentralIllinoisProWrestling.com and STLWrestling.LiveJournal.com.
Let's make the dream come true for everybody's favorite intergender wrestling champion of the world, Andy Kaufman. With your teamwork, we can reward Andy with the 2014 WWE Hall of Fame Inductee Award. I'll drive the point home with hashtag AK4 WWEHOF 2014. Email that to your friends and family. Also tweet at WWE at WWE Universe and at Jerry Lawler, and tell them how badly and how much we want Andy in the Hall of Fame. Hashtag AK4, that's the number 4, WWEHOF 2014. Hashtag AK4 WWEHOF 2014. Post it on your Facebook, your Tumblr, your Reddit, your StumbleUpon, your YouTube, forums, blogs, podcasts, spray painted on the side of large abandoned industrial facilities. Put it anywhere and everywhere. Hashtag AK4 WWEHOF 2014. Sponsored by Andy's Army.
And be sure to like our Facebook page, Induct Andy Kaufman. Yes, indeed, time is ticking. The 7th Annual MBS Awards nominations are due February the 23rd. We'll be deciding who the winners will be and begin awarding those MBS Awards starting at Dreamwave. Of course, there's the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for Jason Hades. They're at Dreamwave on March the 1st. As we look at some of the many awards hanging on the walls of Harley's office, our second interview this week is a follow-up to the story at number 9 on the top 10 St. Louis wrestling news stories of 2013. Looking at the horrific injuries a couple of wrestlers had. We previously talked about Dan the Man. Now we talk with another competitor who came back from his own very scary incident last year.
We're talking with Jack Gamble, who recently made his return in December. Well, I don't know if that was a surprise to the crowd, but
I feel it was. It was a surprise to a lot of people because nobody expected after the car wreck that I was in that I would return 6 months later. I mean, that's pretty quick. So, still working out the kinks, but I'm back.
Jack Gamble joined us here at Harley Race's new academy in Troy, Missouri. Tell us about yourself. When did you get into the wrestling business?
I started training actually with Harley in 2009 when they were still in Eldon at not the first school, but the second school. And then from there we went to the third school, the fourth school, and now we're in Troy. But yes, I've devoted all to Harley. Harley's, taught me pretty much everything he knows, and I've had trainers like Leland Race, Brian Breaker, Bao Win, who's now a referee for WWE. So yeah, I mean, this is the place to be. I've learned a lot.
What got you interested in becoming a professional wrestler?
Oh, that's easy. That's Shawn Michaels, the showstopper. I mean, definitely in the 90s when he was the arrogant guy. It's like you can be mean to people and people still like you. You're still the champion, and just being center of attention. Really, that's what I got into it about.
So you started from 2009 onward. Well, describe some of the top matches you've had over your career so far.
Top matches. One that sticks out in my mind was in Eldon against the World League Heavyweight Champion at the time, Brian Breaker. Noah was there. Steamboat was there. Regal was there. It was like this was do or die for us, really. And Breaker credits a lot of that to him, helping him get signed with WWE and helping him to get a tour of Japan. And mine's coming. I've talked to Japan, mine's coming sooner or later. But that was one of the better matches in my mind that sticks out. Far none.
You have a tag team.
Yes.
Describe it.
I'm tagging with John Webb, a good friend of mine for the last 21 years. We grew up together. High level enterprise. We mesh really well together because both of us are flying off the wall, anywhere and everywhere. There's no can't that we think of. It's like, oh, yep, we can do that.
Describe your character.
Jack Gamble is very, very loving and caring at first. He wants to please is all he goes out there, and if the crowd likes it, Gamble likes it. That's kind of how I go on everything.
Now, do you professionally gamble? Or do any sort of gambling for real?
To an extent. My dad was actually a professional gambler for a long time. So he's taught me some stuff, and I've done it, but I usually lose a lot of money when I professionally gamble, so I don't like doing that because losing money sucks.
Do you prefer Texas Hold'em or a different type of card game?
Oh, card game? I would have to go with Texas Hold'em. My favorite game of all is roulette, though. I do like roulette because a lot of people think it's guessing, but there's a lot of strategy to it.
Now, where have you all wrestled so far besides WLW?
I've wrestled WLW, Dynamo Pro, NWA, Central States Wrestling. I've wrestled for Metro Pro Wrestling, MCW, Missouri Championship Wrestling. There's other ones. I'm just can't.
Missouri Championship Wrestling, where's that out of?
It was out of Marceline, and they ran for about half a year, and then they stopped running shows, and now they're slowly coming back. And I think they're going to run more Ozarks in Iowa or something like that is what they're telling me.
I got to get that on my list because I haven't heard of them, and I assembled a big list of all Illinois and Missouri feds.
I'll say I don't think they're started up really right now. It's in the works is what they contacted me about.
Well, they'll have to get word to me when they have their first show. One of those promotions that I don't know if you made your debut that night, but you wrestled for Mid-Missouri Wrestling Alliance into the St. Louis South Broadway. Was that your first match there?
If I wrestled my partner John Webb and Brandon Espinoza, it was. We had a triple threat match. And it was. Espinoza is insane in the ring. Took me to the limits. I know that.
And that night, if we're got the right date, horrific thing happened on the way home. I'll let you describe it in your own words.
Well, yeah, we left MMWA and we went to Denny's and ate on the 13th of July. And on the 24th of July, I woke up in a hospital, not knowing where I got there, not knowing how I got there. That's all I remember. So I've been told secondhand because my tag team partner John Webb was following us. We were coming home. We were about an hour from home, and we were hit head-on, high speeds, by a drunk driver. I broke my femur, my ankle, my humerus had a severe concussion. My wife had head trauma. She broke her forearm. Head trauma where she could, when she woke up from the hospital, I went to go see her, and she didn't even know who I was. And this was all because of somebody else being careless. They're thinking that, oh, I'm not that bad, and they get behind the wheel. And to me, that is the most careless thing you can do, because usually drunk drivers think about themselves and them getting caught by the police or them wrecking their car. They never think about who else is on the road. My, at the time, 3-month-old daughter was with us. Luckily walked away without just a small scratch on her head. But he could have ended 4 lives that night with one stupid decision. Mm-hmm. So I am totally against drinking and driving. I think it is the most careless, arrogant, or ignorant thing you can do.
Well, and he probably also thought he was invincible. Well, he didn't come back. Exactly.
He actually passed away on the scene. And his partner in crime broke his pelvis and was pretty banged up too. So he 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lives changed that day. Completely family life changed that day. People that cared about us, people that cared probably about that guy. Now they have to realize that their son or their husband is gone because of his brainless decision.
Describe basically the long road back.
The long road back was very hard because since I did break my femur and my ankle, they were both in the same leg. So for 3 months, I wasn't allowed to put any weight on it at all. So I lost a lot of muscle mass in my leg, and they finally told me after 3 months I could start slowly walking, and that was a chore all in itself. I pretty much had to teach myself how to walk again, and I went to rehab for it, to rehab my leg, to get it moving better, and my arm better, and I'm not 100% right now, but I am at 80, and the doctors told me, you need to get back to normal. To me, this is normal.
Describe the benefit show.
Oh, the benefit show. That kind of caught me off guard. It happened really fast. WLW and Leland Race and all them got together. They did a benefit show for me, my wife, and daughter, and it was in my hometown that I grew up in Lynn, Missouri. And family, friends, teachers, everybody that kind of scuffed it. You're going to be a professional wrestler was there, and I didn't get to wrestle, but it was for me, and those guys went out there and they blew the roof off that place. John wrestled Brian Breaker, and it was insane.
Describe, I guess, the week before you made your return.
The week before my return, I knew in my mind that I was coming back, but nobody else really knew, and me and my wife talked about it a lot, and she was telling me, doctors don't really want you to, my parents didn't want me to, and I didn't try to bring any friends into it. Like I told John, my tag team partner, of course, and he was all for it. He's like, if you're ready, you're ready. And that's how it kind of came. So like, I was keeping it very secret, and then the day of the show, I was like, it's time for Gamble to get back in the ring, because I have to be normal again.
What was going through your mind in the 5 minutes before you stepped through the curtain and made your way to the ring?
A lot of it is, can I do this? Can I do this? This is what I keep telling myself. Can I do this? I was very nervous. It was almost like starting all over from the very beginning of your very first match. It's like, can I go out there and do what I used to do, or entertain the crowd? I'm very nervous. Thought it would be like riding a bicycle. You just go out there and get back on it. No, it was that tag match. My debut coming back was about 37 minutes of hell. It was hard.
It was that long?
Yes, it was a...
From bell to bell, or does that include the ring entrances?
No, ring entrances, it was like 45. It was a triple threat, double elimination tag match for the tag team titles. And we ended up coming up short, but yeah, me and Dark Shadows, who later became Dave DeLorean.
And he was in the car with you that night.
He was, and to double cross me like that after all we've been through was pretty traumatic. Threw me off my game, and we were the last two standing. That night he got the better of me.
How many other people knew you were coming back that night?
I would say about 5. My mom and dad knew, and they were very against it. My wife knew, John knew, and I talked a little bit to Harley and Leland about it, and they were kind of the same way. They're like, well, if you think you're ready. And I wanted to prove them that I was ready.
And the crowd?
The crowd was phenomenal. They were very surprised. Like I kind of announced it at the beginning of the show, but when I came through that curtain to the actual match, that was one of the best feelings I've ever had. Like I never left.
Goals for 2014.
Goals for 2014. That's it. I really want to take High Level Enterprise to the next level. We want to go and do Dynamo, MMWA, all these other promotions, NWA, CCW, all this stuff we want to go to as a tag team, and we want to show people that tag team wrestling is still good, and prove to them that we still got what it takes.
Speaking of tag team wrestling, the top tag team, which Missouri Wrestling Revival and the Nosebleed Seats gave them Tag Team of the Year awards, and they're still the top contender for, well, I think MWR gave out those awards, but the Nosebleeds Central Illinois awards haven't been handed out yet. The Hooligans,
yes.
Mason and David Cutter, your thoughts on that duo?
I've watched some of their stuff. I've never actually seen them live in person, but I've watched some of their stuff, and these guys are big dudes, and they don't really throw caution at the wind. They do whatever they feel is necessary, but if it comes to the Hooligans versus HLE, we're up for the challenge.
Hooligans still have 3 sets of tag belts, and they've held on to them for quite a while. SMPW, 01 Supreme, and one other set of belts, Proving Ground Pro.
Pro, wow. Yeah, I didn't know all that. I knew that they were a great tag team, but that's really saying something to hold 3 belts and probably hold them as long as they have held them.
Well, if a promoter wants to set up that match in the future, I'll say, are you interested in going up to Central or Southern Illinois? Because there's a lot of, the whole deal about the school moving was to give the roster more chances around the area.
I agree, and I think there's going to be a lot more chances because it's not a 6-hour, 8-hour drive anymore. It's 2-3 hours. I want to work more in Missouri. I want to work more in Illinois, Iowa, Tennessee, anywhere and everywhere I want to go.
All right, where can promoters go if they want to book Jack Gamble or the tag team, High Level Enterprise?
They want Jack Gamble, High Level Enterprise, John Webb. They can always go to the Jack Gamble fan page on Facebook. They can always DM me on Twitter at Jack Gamble WLW. Any way possible. They can call here if they need to. Call WLW and be like, hey, we want Jack Gamble, and I'll be there.
All right, Jack, welcome back. There was a long road. There were like 2 horrific injuries that happened in 2013, but you and the other gentleman are back in the ring, back to normal. Well, you said you're 8%, but...
Yeah, close to normal.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That'll do it for this week here on the Nosebleed Seats. We have a couple more interviews to come in a later week on the program, but we want to thank Stacey O'Brien and also Jack Gamble, especially for opening up about the horrific accident last July, to which we close it out with this important message.
All it takes is just one DUI to permanently scar you for life. You can't hide it, and it won't go away. Cops are cracking down, and you will be arrested. Don't be a loser. Don't drink and drive.